Om ajïäna-timirändhasya jnana-çaläkayä cakñurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave namaha. Shri Chaitanya manobhishtam sthapitam yena bhutale swayam rupa kadamayyam dadati swapadantikam vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutpad Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagada Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagada Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatrubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Tvishe Namaha. So we are on chapter 4. We finished chapter 3 last time, and I told you I will be explaining the shlokas one more time because we just rushed there. But today I want to start with chapter 4. I have already thought in my mind. So I will do few shlokas and then we'll go back to third and then we'll repeat and then we'll get the continuation of everything. So today's chapter is called Transcendental Knowledge. And it starts with Bhagwan. He says, Iman vivasvate yogam proktavanaham avyayam Vivaswaan manave praha manor ikshvaka abrave. Bhagwan said, I instructed this imperishable science of yoga to the sun god, Vivaswaan, and then he instructed it to Manu, the father of mankind, and Manu in turn instructed it to Ikshvaku. The supreme science was thus received. Shloka number 2. Evam parampara praptam imam rajarshayo viduhu sakalena nehe manata mahata yogo nashta parantapa. This supreme science was thus received through chain of disciplic succession. And the saintly kings understood it in that way. But in course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore this science appears to be lost. Sa evayam mayate adya yoga prokta puratanaha bhakto asime sakha cheti rahasyam hi etaduttamam. Bhagwan says, that very ancient science of the relationship with the Supreme is told by me to you. And you are my devotee as well as my friend and can therefore understand the transcendental mystery of this science. Arjuna then asked, Aparam bhavato janma param janma vivasvataha katham etad vijaniyan tvam ado proktavaniti. Arjuna said, the sun god Vivaswaan is senior by birth to you. How am I to understand? In the beginning, you instructed this science to him. Bhagwan uvacha bahune me vyatitani janmani tavacharjuna tani aham se veda sarvani na tvam vedha parantapa. Bhagwan said, many births both you and I have passed. I can remember all of them, but you cannot. O subduer of the enemy. Ajo api san avyayat atma bhutanam ishvaro api san prakritim swam adhisthaya sambhavami atmayaya. Although I am unborn and my transcendental body never deteriorates, and although I am the Lord of all living entities, by my internal energy, I still appear in every millennium and in my original transcendental form. And why do I appear? In Shloka number 7, he says, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuttanam dharmasya tadatmanam sujamyaham. I take birth whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice or descendant of Bharata and a predominant rise of religion. At that time, I descend myself. And there are other more reasons for my descent. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam 8th shloka. Dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. To deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to reestablish the principles of religion, I myself appear millennium after millennium. And then he says, 9th shloka, Janma karma cha me divyam evam yoveti tattvataha tyaktva deha punarjanma naiti mameti so Arjuna. 1. Who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, living upon the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjun. He will go on repeating, when you, after listening from me, because there's so much topics we cover, after the entire 18th chapter is done, you must sit with Gita again. And you will see that in every chapter, Bhagwan has told us, you can come to me, you will not take birth again. Is it not that most of the people are looking for it, right? Mukti, liberation. You're so tired of this life, you don't want to come back to this world again. Not everybody, some of you are looking. Because I'm saying this, my father, once he was giving a lecture in his discourse, and he was like in full mood, and he's like, this is your last birth, Ma Lalita Tripura Sundari's devotees, this is the last birth. After this, you don't have to take birth. But one person from the audience, in the end of the discourse, Papa used to ask, any questions, anybody? So one person from the audience raised his hand. He's like, Guruji, why are you saying this again and again? This is my last birth, this is my last birth. I enjoy my life. I want to come back again and again. I like my wife. I like my children. I like my sisters. I like everything. So I want to come back again and again, Guruji. So should I not do Lalita Sahasranam and Lalita thing? So there are people like that who love life. Despite all the ups and downs, they want to come back again and again. And there are people who are like, we are done with this drama. No more. So those who are done with this drama, Bhagwan says, I'm showing you the easy path. What is the easy path? Just understand me. Just understand me, the purpose of my birth, all those activities that I did are transcendental. If you know me, you don't have to come back to this earth again. And for the other category of the people who want to come back to the earth, Bhagwan has given all solutions. How you must make your sanskaras, You can choose your birth also. If you have to take birth, not everything is in your control, but certain things are in your control. Let's see. Certain things are very fixed. And most of the things are variable. So those fixed is not in your control, but variable is in your control. You can vary a lot of things. So if you want to come back to earth, wonderful, great. Understand the science. How do you want to come back? Do you want to come back as an animal? Then you must know what animal consciousness is. What does the animal do? Eats. If you enjoy eating, I want to eat this and that, an animal can eat anything. Animal, there is no rule for him. He can go and attack another animal and eat. You can also attack many animals and eat, no problem. You enjoy attacking animals. You enjoy attacking people. You enjoy killing people for whatever sense gratification. You want to continue that. You are enjoying it. No problem. This human life, you have enjoyed it. We gave you the opportunity. Next birth, come as animal. No problem. You don't want to come as animal. No. So animal does what? It does eating. It does mating. In human life, if you are born in some, say, Muslim country, okay, at least you are legally allowed to have 5 wives. If you are born in a Hindu, forget about Hindu. If you're born in India, as per the constitution, it was not a Hindu law not to have 2-3 wives. It was a constitutional law. It was changed because our kings had. So constitution of India says only 1 wife, and here you are struggling because the constitution, the law, you can't go against the law. So you want to continue this mating process because you're enjoying. Okay, no problem. Come back as animal. You'll become a cat next life. I'm just taking cat example. Cats, you have seen cats. The male cat will always have 2-3 cats with her. And all the 2-3 cats whom the male will have will be loyal to the male. They'll fight within each other, but they'll always be loyal to the male. Just like in the Muslim countries, they'll have 4-5 wives. We have Persian cats from Persia. Same quality in human and cat. Have you seen dogs? No loyalty to anybody. Anyone is okay. You are born a human. You can be like, you're behaving like a dog. No loyalty to anybody. You can go anywhere. No problem. Human life was given to you. You can come back again. Keep enjoying. Go anywhere. No, you want to. So I'm just giving examples. You're attracted to. You are not into all this mating and all, but you're attached to something. Attached to property, attached to money. No problem. Become a reptile. Become a snake. Become a lizard, garden lizard. You'll be in the same area where you were so attached. So your birth. So the animal does eating. Animal does mating. Animal defends itself. You're also defending. An animal does sleeping. You love sleeping. You want to be the laziest person on earth. You don't want to do anything. You want to spend your life only sleeping. Great. Become a rhino. Become a hippo. Become a sloth. No problem. Enjoy your life. Choose your life. How you want to be. Oh, no. I don't want to be animal. Okay. You want to come as human? Then you have to behave like a human. How do you behave? You do good karmas. Do nice karmas. Be good to others. Do not hurt anybody else. Do not kill living beings. Do not steal. Do not cheat. Do not say wrong words to others. Do not abuse others. Live rightfully. A human uses his wisdom at every point of time. You want to be a human again, right? Use your wisdom all the time. Live rightly. By this, you will collect enough merits, you will go to great lokas. Then again, you will come back as human only. Here also, you'll be having a good family, good everything. You want to enjoy life, choose your life. And in human also, what you want to be, you can be. No, I don't want to be human again. I'm done with this, all this drama. Coming back as human, there is no guarantee. I may be doing right things, but there is always a chance of falling down again. I may commit sin again. I have understood it. And the sins are the cause of my suffering. I may have a great houses, I may have great spouse, I may have everything, but yet there is no guarantee that I will not do sin. And this sin may put me down again. Okay, I don't want to be human. I want to get out of this. All right. You choose to get out of this whole cycle. Then live a spiritual life. How do I live a spiritual life? Right now, you're living a worldly life. Worldly life means all your senses are in the world. You want to live a spiritual life. So let all your senses be in spiritual activities. If you die in these spiritual activities, you'll be liberated from the world. All right. So what are the spiritual activities? Those activities related to spirit soul. All right. Where will I find the knowledge of spirit soul? In the Bhagavad Gita. Who is speaking the Bhagavad Gita? Bhagwan Krishna. Who is Bhagwan Krishna? First you know his philosophy, then you know where he was born, then you know what all he did. If somebody knows all these things, Bhagwan says, one who knows the transcendental nature of my birth, my appearance and activities upon leaving the body, takes his birth, does not take his birth again in this material world. He comes to my eternal abode. O Arjuna, he is free from ever. So you made the choice now. I do not want to come to this earth again. So what do? You learn about Krishna and Krishna's philosophy and Krishna's activities. That's it. Simple solution. And this thing, what he has said, after reading, as I told you, see every chapter one more time at your leisurely time. In every chapter, he will repeat this in one or the other shloka, in some or the other way. This is God's way of teaching. He will repeat it again and again. Sometimes you'll find it so repetitive. But that much, even after that much repetition, we do not change. But his repetition never stops. He'll go on and on. All right. So this was where we ended the fourth one. But I told you I'll explain the third one again. The third chapter. We have to understand it properly. So in third chapter, you guys remember, Bhagwan said there are two ways. Arjuna was confused. He's like, what am I supposed to do? And Bhagwan said, there are two ways, Sankhya Yoga and Karma Yoga. For you, Arjuna, Karma Yoga is better because you're fighting. For you, Sankhya Yoga, you have to apply yoga, no doubt. You have to apply your intelligence. But right now, the position where you are, you should do Karma Yoga, applying your buddhi, applying your intelligence. Buddhi is the highest. So at every step of the way, you have to use this intelligence rightly. Every karma that you do, you have to do the intelligence. You have to use the intelligence rightly. Karma you will have to do. So Arjun, do your karma as yajna. I'm repeating this again and again in every class so that you remember. At least some part of it you will remember. Every day, do your karma as yajna. Every activity that you're doing as yajna. Yajna means every activity that you're doing, you surrender it to Bhagwan. Simple prayer you say every day. Every hour, remember this. Oh Lord, or whenever you can remember Lord. Where Lord is outside, you know, and Lord is inside your heart. Close your eyes and say, oh Lord, whatever I did today, by my mind, action, and speech, I surrender it to you. I love you, God. That's it. With full feeling, remember him and surrender. This is yajna. Everything that you eat, I'm not teaching you very, very tough rituals. These are simple, is it not? See, bhakti is a matter of heart. It's beyond rituals. Rituals were given to you to develop this quality because you don't know how to develop. So rituals came to help you develop. But if you can be sincerely connected to God from your heart, and there has to be no drama. How do you connect with him? The way you will connect to your loved ones. Some people, they have Bhagwan Smurti at their home. And then they'll question, oh, I love God, but do I have to give bath to my God every day? Do you give bath to your body every day? Whom do you love the most? Let me tell you, you love yourself the most. Bhagwan's love comes later. You love yourself the most. Do you ever question, should I give bath to my body or not? Oh, I have Bhagwan's Murti at home. Should I give it food every day or not? I love Bhagwan. Should I give food every day or not? Should I offer food every day or not? My question to you will be the same. You love yourself. Do you give food to yourself every day or not? What you love yourself the most. So whatever you do to yourself, if you say, I love Bhagwan, then you must do it to Bhagwan also. Simple. You love your son. Would you go and ask anybody, hey, you are giving food to your son. Should I give food to my son or not? Are you going to ask? No. Because giving food to my son is important. So some people will keep Laddu Gopal. So if you are eating and if you say Laddu Gopal is my son, obviously you'll give him food. After giving the food. If you really had a child, won't you clean the child? You will. So that's how the Laddu Gopal is there. If you think it is your child, you will clean it. So there were rituals made for this. And the rituals are very simple. They had meaning to it. They were not made for you to confuse you. They were made for you to connect with Krishna or with God. People ask me, oh, should I get 6 feet murti and then 1 feet murti and this and that? My only answer is, if you are keeping it as a showpiece, you can get as many feet as you want. You can get anything, fiberglass, whatever you want to. If you're keeping it as a showpiece, no problem. But if you want to daily worship somebody, then you have to keep something which you can manage. Keeping a very big murti and you're not able to clean it up. So it's no problem. It's a showpiece, no problem. Showpiece is fine. But if you are doing sadhana and if you want to connect with God and if you're bringing a murti to connect with Bhagwan, then you have to do the rituals. It helps you connect. When you see Krishna, it will help you. These are spiritual activities. You want to become spiritual, right? So all the activities, you do it spiritually. And it starts with Murti Puja. Bring a Murti. Now here, do not confuse yourself. Half ritual I will do, because now you're thinking it's ritual, right? It's not about ritual, it's about your connect. Or should I change the dress every day or not? Do you change your dress every day or not? You love yourself the most. If it was your real child, will you change his dress or not? Then that murti, you are asking me this question because you think that the murti is not living. And this murti, this bodily murti is living. Who is living? This bodily murti is gross. Who is living? So these rituals were given for you to connect with God and to spiritualize you, and all your activities become spiritual. Here, Bhagwan, in Karma Yoga, Bhagwan had said, do your activity as yajna, surrender everything unto me. Now, this is what I taught you right now. If you have a murti at your home, offer it water, offer it food. This is a yajna. First plate that you eat at home, the breakfast, first offer it to Bhagwan and then eat it. Then offer it to everybody in your family. Lunch, first offer it to Bhagwan, then you eat it. If you live like this, every activity, every karma you surrender to Bhagwan, it is a yajna living. You don't have to do any external rituals anymore. You have to be connected with God. Now here, so he went on saying all these things. And then when we entered last time that this is the real Gyan I gave you, this is the real knowledge I gave you. Everybody has this knowledge in them. But what happens is they are covered up. Their ego covers up. And because of their ego being, they're covered up by the ego, human being, living entities forget their real self. So he went on and they say, because they are covered up, and what are they covered up with? They're covered up with the 3 modes of nature. And therefore they behave ignorantly and they do material activities and then they become attached to it. So, but the wise people, he said, wise who are using their buddhi, who are using their intelligence, buddhi means intelligence. The wise people who are using their intelligence, they do not get lost. They do not get covered up like this. They have understood the drama. 29th Shloka, he's answering. Bewildered by the modes of material nature, the ignorant fully engage themselves in the material activities and become attached. But the wise should not do this. They know it. And sometimes the wise are seeing the world is doing the same thing, but the wise will not unsettle them. You have understood it. But do not unsettle other people. Although these duties are inferior due to the performance lack of knowledge. They are seeing people are doing the same thing over and over again, but they are doing it ignorantly. So what the wise do? They give them the knowledge. What is the knowledge? You have to do all the worldly things, but how will you do it? Bhagwan uses one shloka, which is a shloka for karma yoga. He's going on speaking on Sankhya right now. In every shloka, it is Sankhya, okay? This one shloka is karma yoga or bhakti yoga. Mai sarvani karmani sanyasya adhyatma chetasa. Shloka number 30. Nirashi nirmamo bhutva vridhasva vigata jvaraha. Bhagwan says, O Arjun, surrendering all your works unto me with full knowledge of me, without desires of profit, with no claims of proprietorship, and free from lethargy, fight. Bhagwan explained Sankhya Yoga. In Sankhya Yoga, the person is detached from this body also because he has used his intelligence to the highest level, analyzing each and everything. I explained this so many times. So if you want to understand, go through those lectures again. Make your notes. Contemplate. Only when you contemplate, you understand, okay? Sankhya Yoga, understand the process of Sankhya Yoga. It will go on till 6th chapter. Bhagwan says in this shloka especially, surrender all your works to me. That's it. And do not desire for what is going to happen afterwards. Do not have any sense of proprietorship. Simple. And this way, you will be free. And then he goes on saying, this is my opinion. Those who take this teaching, this was in 31 shloka, those who take this teaching without any envy, they will become free. So there is Sankhya Yogi who is already free because of his buddhi. There is worldly people. Worldly people are doing karmas. So 3 kinds of people are there. One is the yogi, the Sankhya Yogi, the Jnani, whose understanding is he is not the doer. The second is the worldly people. They are doing everything. They are doing ignorantly. They'll say, oh, I'm doing a good karma. What is a good karma? Oh, I'm doing so much charity. Every month I write checks to so-and-so orphanage, to so-and-so senior homes, to go. I'm the one writing it all the check. Good. But who is writing? I am writing. I made so much money. Why am I writing? Oh, I know by doing all this thing, I have heard my business will do well. Wonderful. So this guy, this person, worldly person, I'm giving an example. A worldly person goes on doing all these things, thinking, I am the doer. They're doing, he's doing a good work, but again, he's ignorant. Somebody is doing bad work, he's most ignorant. But somebody is doing good work, he is also ignorant. Why? Because he is thinking, I am the doer. But so he's called a karmi. He's called as karmi. So people in the world are karmis. But a karma yogi is a different person. A karma yogi says, I am not the doer. God gave me so much money in my bank. That money, God made me the medium. So I am the medium who is writing these checks to the orphanage, to this, to this, to this. I am the servant of the Lord. A karma yogi is, this is the difference. Understand, because karma, this philosophy of karma is most misunderstood and most interpreted and most misquoted. People say, oh, I'm doing good karma. No, you're not a karma yogi. They'll say, I'm karma yogi. No, you're not a karma yogi unless you realize this, that Bhagwan has made you a medium. You're not a karma yogi till your realization is, I am just a medium. I am the servant of the Lord. I am the servant of all these people. I am the servant of the world. Unless your thinking is this, unless your consciousness is this, you're not a karma yogi. You are still a karmi. You may do good karma. You are a good karmi. But a real karma yogi knows, I'm just a medium. Bhagwan gave me everything. He'll be working like you. He'll have a business. But his business, he knows, I have to work hard, not for my satisfaction. Because through me, Bhagwan is going to fulfill the desires of so many people who's working in my company. Through all these people who are working for me are chosen by God. They have been sent by God. So I have to work very nicely. That the profits are going to this, all these family people, all these workers, all these employees should be happy. But a karmi, on the other hand, he will be doing a business. A karmi, on the other hand, does not want to share his profits. He will exploit his workers for his own profit. He'll fire them just like this if he finds them useless. But a karma yogi is not like that. He works because if I work, so many families will be sustained and God will be happy. God has chosen me. God has given me the intelligence, the special capabilities to do this kind of business. So I'm able to do it. Let me do it very nicely so that everybody is happy. This is a karma yogi's thinking. And a karmi's thinking is different. Oh, I hire so many people. I paid so many people. I do. That is a karmi. He's doing a good work. Now understand. So the question comes, so should we stop doing good work? No, you should do good work. But understand the result of that good work. By doing good work, you will get many merits. Heaven points. You will go to heaven. You will enjoy in heaven for a long time because you did good karma on earth. You did charity, you volunteered for orphanages, all these things you did. But with all those heaven points, you go to heaven, you enjoy heaven, and you will come back to earth again. And again, the whole cycle will start. It's up to you whether you want to start the whole cycle, however you want to start the whole cycle. It's up to you. But a karma yogi, for a karma yogi, the whole cycle just ends up because he is just a medium. Bhagwan is the one who is making him do. He is not attached to any of the results. He's just like the cashier in the bank, the teller in the bank. The cashier in the bank, he gets millions of rupees from the federal bank. And what does he do? Does he get attached? Oh, my money, millions. Oh, I'm a millionaire. No, he knows millions of money coming. And what is his duty? Distribute money to everybody who's coming. He will distribute all the money. In the end, he'll go home sleep very well. At the end of the month, he'll get his salary of his hard work. That's it. That's life. He never get attached to the millions and millions of dollars that he's distributing every day. This is how a karma yogi lives in this world. He gets millions and millions of dollars from Krishna's bank. He'll go on distributing whatever he has. In true sense. He never feels, I am the doer. Never. So this is karma yogi. Got it? I hope you understood the difference. One will give you merits, but one will free you forever. Karma yogi is free. For both, but to be a karma yogi also, you have to use your intelligence. All your senses, everything, you have to use it for the service of the Lord. So Bhagwan goes on saying, those who disregard these teachings, who do not follow, understand they are vimudhatma. They are grossly foolish. And they are ruining their endeavors for perfection. So understand the difference between akarma, karma, and karma yoga. Even a man of knowledge knows, acts according to his nature. For everyone follows the nature he has acquired from the three modes. What can repression accomplish? There are principles to regulate attachment and aversion pertaining to the senses and their objects. One should not come under the control of such attachment and aversion because they are stumbling blocks on the path of self-realization. So Bhagwan says everybody has a certain nature. So even though sometimes you have the knowledge, the greatest knowledge, you know all this funda is very clear to you. But because of your nature, sometimes people are like they behave because of their nature. So nature is very prominent in everybody. You may find a sadhu who gets angry. And people will be like, and the general people are like, oh, why is he angry? He's a sadhu. Should he not be? Why should he be angry? People sometimes, they go and trouble sadhus. And sadhus don't want to be troubled. So they'll behave very indifferent. They'll behave much ruder than the normal person. Not even for formality, they'll look at smile. So normal people are like, why did he behave like this? Shouldn't sadhus be more careful? We are better than them. There is a difference between their action and your action. You have reacted so much. There was once, I'll tell a Buddhist story. So there was once a guru and a disciple, both Buddhist, and they were meditating. And the guru is teaching all this, some that you have to control your, even in Buddhism, the same teachings are there because it's pure Sankhya Yoga. So you should control your mind. And when it comes to controlling mind and this body, first thing for men especially, they'll be like, do not even think of a woman. And especially you must keep away from the woman. You should not even touch a wooden doll because this might create problems in your head. You must control yourself. So poor kid, maybe 19-20-year-old monk, he wants to become monk because such high, lofty ideals he wants to follow in his life early at an age. Because so much is spoken about this. And the sadhu, his guru, has already practiced it for years and is really on that stage, Paramahansa stage. For him, nothing really matters. So this person is learning to become a Paramahansa, and that person is already a Paramahansa. So one day, they went out to beg some alms and they had to cross a river to go to the other village. So while they were crossing the river, they saw one beautiful girl, mountain girl. And this lady had something in her bag, some load. She had cut some plants and put it in her basket. And this lady wanted to cross the river, but she was finding it difficult to cross the river. So Guruji said to this disciple, why don't you go and help her? So the disciple is in his mind thinking, help her? But didn't you tell me not to go and touch any woman or not to go near any woman? I don't think so. This is a good idea. So he's telling all these things to his guru. And the guru is like, but she needs help. But Gurudev, if I do this, I'll fall down. Guru says, okay, leave it. And the guru himself goes to the lady, and guru takes the load and gives it to the disciple and says, you take this thing and cross the river, I will take this girl and I will cross the river. And Guru takes the girl on his shoulder and crosses the river. Now this disciple's mind is like right now completely shocked. And he's in his head thinking, he told me not to even look at a woman, and look at him. He takes a woman on his shoulder and is crossing the river. And he could not understand. Anyways, they cross the river, they beg the alms. This whole incident happened, and the disciple's mind is totally in unrest. Why did Guruji did this? This was not expected from Guruji. Guruji is like this. Did I make a wrong choice in finding a guru? And he's very disturbed. And in the evening, 7 o'clock, the bell rings and they have to sit down for meditation. Everybody's meditation, and this disciple's mind is like totally in confusion. And Guru is Guru. Guru understood. Guru is like, what happened? He's like, no, Guruji, it's okay. I don't know even if I should ask you or not. Guruji says, are you still thinking about the morning? Is the girl still in your head? This is what Guruji asks. Is the girl still in your head? He's like, Guruji, no. The girl is not in my head. What are you talking, Guruji? I told you. I was in fact trying to remind you that we cannot go near the girl. But look at you. What did you do? You just took her on your shoulder and you crossed the road? Guruji says, that is what I'm saying. I helped her. I took her on the shoulder. I crossed the river. I forgot. She's not in my head. I helped her. Done. But you did not touch her. You did not go near her. You did nothing. But that girl is still in your head. You are still thinking about that. This is what you have to work upon. I have worked upon that. I have no aversion, nor attachment. To me, that is just a body made out of 5 elements and consciousness. That's it. I have no attachment. I have no aversion. But look at you. Right now, your heart is so much filled with aversion. And that aversion is making you attached to the thought. Both the things are going in you together. Work on this. This is what Krishna says here. People have their nature. And because of nature, they'll behave some way. Change that nature. So here, now there are principles. This 34th shloka was that. There are principles to regulate attachment and aversion. There are principles, there are methods to the senses and their objects. One should not come under the control of such attachment and aversion because they are stumbling blocks on the path of self-realization. It is far better to discharge one's duty, prescribed duty, even though faultily than others' duties perfectly. Destruction in the course of performing one's own duty is better than engaging in another's duty. For to follow another's path is dangerous. Arjuna heard all these things. And then he asked a question just like us. Because Bhagwan is telling, change your nature, come out of all these things, fight just for the sake of fighting, you will not incur any sins. All this knowledge, you have to use your wisdom every second. Bhagwan is, Sankhya Yoga means using your wisdom everywhere. So now Arjuna asks one thing. And it's a very common question. Why do we commit sins? A person is very knowledgeable. He knows all these things very well. All the Gita shlokas by hearted. Yet, why does a person fall down? He's walking on this path of spirituality. Yet he's overcome by sinful tendencies and commits sin. He knows, I should not get attached to the woman. But the woman comes. Some woman will come. Very ugly looking woman will come. But the way she will talk, you get attached. And now all this knowledge gone to the toss. You You say, oh, I'm away from money and everything. I don't want money. But somebody comes, tells you to do something, to lie. And with that lie, one lie, he will give you so many millions. Because that lie may save his life. Some imaginary situation. And that millions are like, he just told, I'll give you so much million. Just lie. Just keep this lie. Because of your lie, you'll be doing a great karma. You'll be saving my life. And you're like, good. I'll be saving one person's life. But you don't know what karma he has done. I'll be saving his life and I'll get millions. What's wrong in that? Let me take it. Let me lie. Without thinking. So you do sin. You are sinning. So Arjuna is asking now question. This is very nice question because it is for everybody. We all walk on the path. We all know this knowledge, and yet at some times we commit sins. We commit sins. Sins means we do things which are not right. Whatever reason we have done it, but we have done it. So Arjuna is asking, please Krishna, tell me one thing. By what is one impelled to do sinful acts, even unwillingly, as if engaged by force? What is that force that overcomes a person that he commits sin? So now Bhagwan says, people sometimes say, oh, does not Bhagwan lives in us, right? So we are chanting Bhagwan's name, right? Then Bhagwan is making us sin, right? I'm like, really? Really you think? If someone is sincerely chanting God's name 24 hours a day, Bhagwan will make you sin? You think like that? The world is making you sin, or your association with the world is making you sin, or Bhagwan is making you sin? Who is making you sin? Is Bhagwan sitting in the mind, right? Bhagwan sitting in the heart, right? He is the one making me do. Really you believe that? If really Bhagwan is sitting in your heart, you go to the temple and you offer Gangajal on Bhagwan. And then you make a statement, Bhagwan is sitting in the heart, right? So we should not sin. Yes, you should not sin. And then you come home. And in Gita, Bhagwan says, intoxication is tamasic, you should not intoxicate. At that time, what happens? People are like, let's open the bottle. All those colorful bottles stand in front of you in colorful glasses. What do you want? Scotch, whiskey, champagne, vodka. What happens to your knowledge at time? Bhagwan is in your heart, right? Bhagwan is in your mind, right? Bhagwan gave the knowledge in the mind, right? Bhagwan is in the heart, right? You just now offered Gangajal to the Murti outside, right? And you put your prayers outside, right? Now when you take the scotch and the whiskey, right? Whom are you giving if Bhagwan is inside? You go to the temple, oh, Deepam Darshyami, Dhupam Darshyami, I give you incense and this. And then you meet your friends. Nowadays, cigarettes are nothing. They are simple. Weed. And they have such fancy names for weed. Come on, let's have it. So you just now showed agarbatti to Bhagwan. And what about the Bhagwan in the heart? You take weed and give him that. Even for smoking, when you stand with non-smoking people, you will turn your face because the smoke should not go to them. You take care, right? Smoke is that bad for the other person. You take care, right? And then you smoke. And the smoke goes for Bhagwan in the heart. Think. When we give arguments, Bhagwan is making you do the sin. You have the choice. Bhagwan is giving you the knowledge. Weed, ganja, marijuana, whatever you call, cigarette, intoxication. This Bhagwan has said in Gita very clearly. You would not want to open the books and the pages because it is going to conflict your mind and your actions. You will argue on that. Bhagwan has clearly said it. This is tamasic. Okay, you are knowing it. This is tamasic. You want to be tamasic. Your choice. Know it. That you have taken it. Know it. Tell, I have taken it. Don't tell it to God. That God made me take it. God gave you the knowledge. Did you take the knowledge? If you took the knowledge, God says this is tamasic. You don't want to take it. You want to do what you want to do. Then don't say, Bhagwan hi to kara rahe na paap humse. God is making us do sin. No, God is not. When did you connect with God? Did God come and tell you? They'll say, oh, Shiva has Datura, Bhang. Did Shiva come and tell you? Shiva took so much poison also in his throat. Can you? Shiva sits in the Himalayas, all naked, and sits and meditates. Can you? Shiva is day and night. He's chanting Ram, 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 Ram. Are you? Don't just take one thing and say, I am this and that. Here it is, your logic, all logic will fail. A person who is really God conscious, who is really always in that Krishna consciousness, who has really understand Krishna, he will never, never, ever, ever commit sin, not even in his dreams. So do not blame God for your sins. I gave you so many examples. You made the choice. And Bhagwan replies the same. He says, it is lust only, O Arjun, which born in contact with the material mode of passion, later transformed into wrath, which is the all-devouring sinful enemy of this world. You were lusty for that weed. You took it. If you don't get it, you will get angry at people. You were lusty. You had those desires. You made a choice. So, why did you make a choice? Now, whenever you make such choices, understand Bhagwan is saying this is coming because of the mode of passion. That choice that you made is a symptom. The root cause is the mode of passion. Now understand. So Bhagwan says, you are into Rajoguna. And Rajoguna and Tamaguna will be together. So work on your Rajoguna. So Bhagwan goes on saying, as fire is covered by smoke, as mirror is covered by dust, and an embryo is covered by the womb, a living entity is similarly covered by different degrees of lust. You are a pure being, you are pure soul. Didn't I remind you in second chapter, Arjuna? Everybody is a pure soul. What happened to this pure soul? Why did it become impure? Why did it do sins? It sinned because of the mode of passion. The answer is mode of passion. How do I know I'm in mode of passion? Because of your actions. Because of your lust. Lust is a symptom. How will I convert this mode of passion into something beautiful? Bhagwan says, remember me. Understand me. That's it. So Bhagwan says in 39, thus the wise living entities, pure consciousness, we are all pure beings, understand, we are only covered up. Bhagwan says, wise living entities, pure consciousness becomes covered by his eternal enemy in the form of lust. Vasana is a Sanskrit word. Real word is vasana. Which is never satisfied and burns like fire. Okay, I got it. So this lust, my lust is my problem. Lust is making me sin. I understood it, Bhagwan. But how do I clear this out now? So you must know. Where is this lust sitting in your body? You must know from where lust is entering. Bhagwan gives 3 things. Shloka number 40. The senses, the mind, and the intelligence are the sitting places of this lust. Through them, lust covers the real knowledge. You have all this Gita knowledge, everything right now. But what happens at that moment? Because of, if you are in the mode of passion, at that moment, all the knowledge gets covered up and you commit sin. And how is it happening? Because of 3 things: your senses, your mind, and your intelligence. So you must be watchful of these three things: senses, mind, intelligence. These are the three doorways for lust. And Bhagwan says, therefore, O Arjun, Shloka number 41, in the very beginning, curb this great symbol of sin, this lust. How will you do that? By regulating the senses. It is very difficult to close the senses. You can't close. Eyes will look, ears will hear. What you do? You should know what can excite my lust. If you use all the senses for God's purpose, it's not going to excite you. But if you use the senses for worldly things, hear worldly, watch worldly things, hear worldly topics, talk worldly, associate with worldly people, they are going to excite you and they are going to make you sinful. But if you use all the senses for God's topic, slowly, slowly, you will be out of it. Gradually. It's going to happen. So Bhagwan is saying, there's a difference between controlling and restraining, okay? You cannot shut it off. You cannot repress. But you can change the direction of your senses. This is what Bhagwan is saying here. And slay this destroyer of knowledge and self-realization. And then Bhagwan said, understand this working, this outer, the senses which you have, the working senses, they are superior to dull matter. Mind is higher than the senses. So these senses outside, they're different. How are they acting? Because whatever the mind is telling. And how is the mind is acting? Because whatever the intelligence has been feed into it. So these are just dull matter, but they are higher than the dull matter. Dull matter means, say, somebody gave you $1 million just for committing something. Now that $1 million, what is it? It is just dull matter, is it not? What is making you feel that this is so, $1 million is so important? That is just paper, printed paper. Printed Gita pages is not exciting you. But the printed green dollar, $1 million is exciting you. It's paper. So where is the excitement? Where is the lust? The lust is in your mind. What excited? What triggered the lust? The eyes that saw it first. So there is dull matter. Higher than that is your eyes, because it is excited now. What all can I do with this $1 million? And then the mind is already, excited about the $1 million. Who gave the importance of this $1 million to this mind? Who gave it? The intelligence. Who gave this to the intelligence that $1 million is important? Somebody's talks. Maybe in TEDx, somebody said, you heard from YouTube, or some rich person, or you met people all around you, $1 million is so important, be a millionaire, be a millionaire. There are shows, Kaun banega karodpati, 10 karodpati, who wants to be a millionaire? There are shows like that. So $1 million is so important. How did you know the importance? You heard it. So that hearing, this thing is just your science, Vigyan. You heard that word $1 million. That $1 million is nothing. The $1 million is a dull matter. But that $1 million, that word, that sound vibration is also dull. But it is going with that feeling. No, that is called Sangya. That word is attached with something. And your brains are like, okay, your buddhi, intelligence. $1 million is the most important thing in the world. We must become a millionaire. We must have so much. This will help us do this. And then $1 million, your buddhi is like analyzing so much. Your brain is analyzing. That is buddhi, intelligence. Analyzing. And after analyzing, it comes to the conclusion, $1 million is the best thing in the world. You must have it. Without this, your life is a waste. Oh, wow. So that now the mind, man, yes, this is good. Whatever happens, I should become a millionaire. It doesn't matter if I become a drug dealer also to become a millionaire, because the mind accepts it. Who did all this? A dull matter. Dull matter came in touch with these sensory organs. These sensory organs fed the intelligence. The intelligence analyzed and put it in the mind, and the mind thinks this. And that liking for that $1 million is so deep rooted now, it will fill your body with good hormones, happiness, and it will be staying in your subconscious mind as small seeds. This is lust from dull matter. So Bhagwan says, use your intelligence. In Sankhya Yoga, we use our intelligence like this to get rid of the aversions and to get rid of the attachments. A Sankhya Yogi will not think like an ignorant person. $1 million means so much. Wow. No. He'll come out of that. He's like, what am I attached to? I know the importance of it. That's it. It is needed for some functions. It is needed to take care of my home and then to distribute to others. It will serve its purpose. That's it. There is some function for $1 million. I should not be attached to it. This is just paper, printed paper. It is required. It has certain functions, and for that function, it should be used. If it goes away from me, no problem. If I'm getting it, I will not get attached to it. I will use it. I will use it for others. So Sankhya Yogi lives like this. Getting it? So Bhagwan says, the working senses are superior to dull matter, and mind is higher than the senses. Intelligence is still higher than the mind, and the soul, is even higher than the intelligence. So you are a soul. Every living entity is a pure soul. Every living entity means me, myself. Okay? You, yourself. When we say every living entity, it comes like third person, somebody else. No, I am a pure soul. I am full of pure knowledge. I am full of purity. Why did I get covered up? Why did I behave? Why have I become impure? Because my soul, even though I'm stronger, because my soul is covered by consciousness, subconsciousness. That subconsciousness got covered up by the mode of passion. Because of this mode of passion, I desired for a lot of unnecessary things. And because of desiring of all these unnecessary things, I committed acts which were sinful. And these sinful acts are the cause of my happiness or the cause of my misery. So let me go reverse and come back to my subconsciousness and purify it. And once I purify my subconsciousness, I will realize I am the pure soul. I was always a pure soul, and I will always remain the pure soul. Let me be in this soul realization. I am the highest. I am the strongest. These senses are not strong anymore. This mind is not strong anymore. This intelligence is not strong anymore. I am the strongest as super soul. From now onwards, I will live a life of purity. I am the pure soul. Nothing can make me impure. I will always be blissful. No external conditions can make me into miserable. No external conditions are the reason for my unhappiness or happiness. I am pure soul. I am always blissful. Sadanand Rupam, Chidananda Rupam. Shivoham, Shivoham. I am pure soul. So this is what Sankhya Yoga is talking here. And then he ended up, thus knowing oneself to be transcendental to material senses, mind and intelligence. I just explained you how you become that, the way I told you. The words here are transcendental, this, that, but simple word is, I'm pure. Thus knowing oneself means knowing yourself as the pure spirit soul. You are soul. You are pure spirit soul. You are part and parcel of the bigger spirit soul. You are the eternal servant of the Lord. This is what is knowing yourself. Simple. Thus knowing oneself to be transcendental to these material senses, mind, intelligence, O mighty armed Arjuna, one should stay steady. One should steady the mind by spiritual intelligence. The way I explained right now. Again, in the 6th chapter, we are going to understand it. Again, I'm going to use this. One should use their spiritual intelligence and thus by spiritual strength conquer this insatiable enemy known as lust. And O Arjun, I gave this knowledge in the past to sun god. And then from sun god, it went to Manu. From Manu to Ikshvaku. And from Ikshvaku, now who is the sun god? Now people say, right? Bible and Quran, you can track when they were spoken. But here Bhagwan says, Bhagwan gives a history. It was not only given to Arjuna. People think, oh, it was only given to Arjuna. No. Whom did he give first? Here he's revealing, I first gave it to sun god. Now track the time. This is eternal. When we say Sanatan Dharma, this is where we come to say, oh, this is Sanatan. Sanatan means eternal. From the time sun is there, this knowledge was there. Who gave it? Bhagwan says, I gave it. I, me, Krishna. I've come here 5,000 years ago, but I was the one with sun that time. I gave him. And from that sun god, it went to Ikshvaku. Here he's giving a hint. Ikshvaku, also from sun god, it went to Manu. Who is Manu? Manu is the father of mankind. We are called Manushya. We are sons of Manu. We are his descendants. So when Brahma creates Srishti, this creation, there are two creation. One is his mental creation, and one is this creation where we have to copulate to populate. So he says, so we have come from Manu. Manu is our forefather. And from Manu, this knowledge went to Ikshvaku. Ikshvaku was the forefather of Lord Rama. So here he has hinted, I was Rama. And then he goes on saying, this knowledge went in a tradition, in a chain of disciplic succession. And all the kings of that time knew this knowledge. And that is why he has mentioned Raja Janak in the previous chapter. He says all the kings knew. All the wise people knew. The kings were very saintly. But that saintliness is lost among the kings now. Duryodhana is not a saintly king. If he was Janak, this war would not have happened at all. But Duryodhana is not going to be a saintly king. So this knowledge is lost. Therefore, because this science became lost, I have come back again to reestablish it. This very ancient science of yoga. This is Puratan. He says, Sa eva maya te yagya yoga prokta Puratan. This is Puratan science. This is ancient science. Science of yoga. Science of relationship with the Supreme. This is Puratan Gyan. I said it. He says, Te adya yogaha prokta Puratanaha. Why am I saying this to you? One quality he says. Bhakto asime sakha cheti. You are my devotee. You are my part and parcel. Bhakta means part and parcel. This definition makes me feel very nice. I am his part and parcel. And the second one, when he says, you are my friend. I'm like, okay, Bhagwan, now it makes sense. Now it is enjoyable. Bhakto asime sakha cheti. Because you are my friend, because you are my part and parcel, oh Arjun, I am giving you what? Rahasyam. This is the secret knowledge. I am giving you this secret knowledge. Ye etat uttamam. This is the best knowledge, the most transcendental knowledge. Just because you are my friend and just because you are my part, I am giving it to you. So we will end it up here. And then tomorrow we will understand the shlokas one more time. Okay. So let me take your comments and then end up. Okay, wonderful. No comments today. Ma beats making people justify that Lord Shiva used to smoke and take marijuana. Yeah. Mari jana. Marijuana nahi hai. Mari jana. Chalo. All right. Love you all. Take care. Jai Shri Krishna. Hari Bol.